Good afternoon, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey guys, as you can see, I've been shifting things around in my garage area. I wanted to get all these Type A tapes that I have, these first group of tapes. I'm going to start looking through once I get my machine later this week sometime, I guess. Anyways, I've been looking at a lot of these tapes. They're going to have to be cleaned and seriously going to need to be baked because at some point some of them were in water damage from a flood or something like that. Anyways, I'm just looking at all these tapes. Got, several of them already in the baking process. I want to be able to start grabbing some of these and knocking these tapes out. They're bulky. They take up a lot of space. I want to start getting these done. To give you a good idea what's probably going to be found on these tapes, it's going to be some early time frame, because if you look at this particular one, it says TV commercials from 1973. And that was very interesting when I turned this one around. The tape isn't marked, but the actual box is. So TV commercials from 1973 ought to be very interesting stuff. A lot of these other ones have no markings on them. So I don't really know what's on a lot of these. But this first group will give me a good start on getting some goodies out of some of this stuff anyways. So this is the Type A format, of course, the Ampex machine that I'm working on. You do have to have a very good working Ampex machine, guys. When you're going through a massive amount of tapes like this, you want to pop them on, start converting, and just move on to the next tape. You don't want to be fighting machines that are crappy, that don't play back good, and especially when it comes to video heads, like in my previous video. You can see it's obvious why you need to have a lot of video heads when you're working with the Type A format. Type A videotapes, this is a lot of wear and tear on a machine, especially on the video heads, and you definitely do need video heads. As you know, Obsolete Video Services has just acquired a redesign of this machine. We have a lot of backup heads that do all these tapes, especially with big lots like this. Again, guys, we're always thinking outside of the box. Obsolete Video Services does an awful lot of stuff, but the main thing is taking the impossible and making it possible, especially in this day and age. So when you bake them and in a processor like this, I usually try to bake these tapes between 2 or 3 days due to the fact they've been sitting for a very, very long time. And a lot of them got mold on them. I mean, it's really ridiculous. And you want the tape to break free easy. You don't want to start pulling off backer and everything else. So, when you have tapes that have been in flood damage or in water damage or some shed wherever these were stored at, it's going to take a little bit of time to get them done, to get them actually ready to be able to play them back. But my next problem is I got to see if I can jig up a 1-inch machine that I can actually clean these tapes on. So that's going to be the next challenge. So I'm going to try to figure out, because these tapes do have to be cleaned after they're baked, because they do have residue from water damage and various other types of stuff. It's a very interesting machine, this VR 7000, which is a black and white machine. But like I said, guys, we're going to have full access to playing all these tapes back. Very curious what's on these. Even if I get a few goodies out of these, it's going to be a holy score. But this is the first lot. We do have a whole storage area with a big pallet of these things. Quite a few tapes. But this is going to be the first ones I'm going to start looking through. And if it gives any indication of the years, I think there's going to be a lot of early ones here, like the late 60s or maybe 66, maybe to 73, 74 possible on some stuff if we're lucky. Maybe some TV shows that he recorded that might have good early breaks, television breaks from the 70s on them. So it might be a lot of good stuff on these. I don't know. I really don't. I know this guy was a fanatic. He was fanatical over using these tapes like a VCR. It's what I was told. And 3,000 tapes, that's a lot of tapes. This guy must have been really a fanatic. He originally got them from a school, and then he ended up getting another big collection somewhere else. And he ended up having 3,000 tapes. So hopefully we'll have some great stuff on these. If there's any indication how this tape is particularly marked, TV commercials from 1973, we're going to have some good stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this video.